Here we are again, second video, and what I had asked you to do is go ahead and make that video. So as you should know, you should have all these files here on the timeline. Okay, every one of these things. Okay, from the scorching sun to our campus, and then finally, of course, the crazy rain and the thunderstorm. And on top of that, you should have the Fleetwood Mac. So please go ahead, follow the instructions in the previous video. Once you're done, okay, once you have all this, the whole thing should be about, well, I have it at 1 minute and 28 seconds. So maybe you'll have it a little less, maybe you'll have it a little more. It doesn't matter as long as I see that you're able to put the footage from the source file, which is this guy right here. Okay, there's a source file. In other words, you're going to go ahead and add, like say, the amber waves of grain, and hopefully you'll use the in and out. Okay, because this whole thing here is it's pretty long. So I mean, we don't want it too big. Okay, so we just want a few minutes of it, few seconds of it, and that's enough to satisfy. So remember, using this icon right here to drag the video only, drag the audio only. So I look forward to seeing your work. So once you are done, here's what you're going to do. Okay, you are going to, in order to turn in, I need you to screen capture the Premiere workspace for this project. Okay, so what you'll do is, obviously, let's just move this over. What you'll do is Command Shift 4 if you're using a Macintosh, and I want to see going from the whole thing right there. So I'll be looking, and of course, please remember, I'll be looking for a collapse folder. Okay, so in other words, collapse, I need to see all 5 of these images. I'll eventually need to see all 4 of these videos. Okay, and then I'll see a sequence right there. So when you do a screen capture, make sure the folders are not collapsed. They're not like this. Okay, so I need to see them expanded and go from there. Okay, next thing I need you to do is export. And if you remember last year, we learned how to export the film. Okay, and I'll show you once again. Okay, so, and I'll write down the steps here as well. So step 1 is, okay, let me go ahead and put down exporting. Okay, step 1, you want to file, export. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that and move this across. So file, so wrong software, file, okay, export way down here. Okay, and then notice that the media is ghosted out. So why is that? Maybe sometimes this thing wants the scrub bar here wants it all the way. It's called the playhead. So if you move it all the way to the left, that might help it. So let's do it again. File, okay, export, and there it is. Media is finally available. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. So file, export, media. Okay, so there it is right there, file, export, media, and now you'll open up this dialog box. Well, the first thing, of course, is you want to, and I'll see if I can move this over here, and let's see if this would work. It might disappear. Yep, that's what I was afraid of. Alright, so I can make it work. So the first thing you're going to do is format. It's got to be 2 point, or either 2, yeah, H264. So put this back to where it was. Sorry, I'm moving around a little bit too much. Alright, so the file format, okay, should be H.264. It's pretty standard. And then the preset, now here's a weird thing. For the preset, You can go ahead and try to match the source and high bitrate, okay? Or if I was to click the drop down menu, you can choose any one of these. When you say match the source at a high bitrate, that means, in other words, the sequence that you set is what it's going to be. So you can try and do that. You can also choose one of these guys right here. Last time we did high quality 1080p HD. That means high quality, high definition, 180 pixels. That might be a little bit too big, so I'm going to go down to high quality 720. Or, you know what, we might just leave it the way it is. High bitrate, match the source. So the source is about 1900 pixels wide, about so big. You know what, because we're uploading, let's go ahead and choose this one. Let's do high quality 720. Okay, right there, high quality 720 HD. Let's do that. So once again, preset high quality. 720p HD. Okay, try that. Alright, and then finally, comments, you don't have to worry about that. Now the output name, okay, so you want to make sure, you can call it sequence 01, or you can call it whatever you like. Okay, so sequence 01, but that's not the most important thing here. The most important thing is that you can click on this thing, this sequence 01, click on it, and it should open up the finder, the folder structure, and you can decide where you're going to put this. Now you got to be very careful so you can find things, okay? And so I don't want to put it here, okay, wherever it was that, okay, it was in a complete different file structure than I want. I highly recommend you place it in the same folder as your information is, as your files. So for me, I believe it's GHS classes, advanced graphics. Anyways, it's in the lesson 01 folder, as you can see. That's where we have it. You can save it as an MP4. Go ahead and save it. That's where we want it, okay? That's where it's going to go. Make sure that export video and export audio is also selected. Okay, so let's see, number 5. Export video and export audio is selected. Alright, so the output, just got to make sure you know exactly. So there it is, lesson 1A. That's what it's going to output. This is the size. So remember we chose 720. That is the vertical length. Okay, so the vertical going up and down. 1280 is the horizontal. Okay, and it's going to be about well, anyways, that's all just gibberish. So, but the most important thing is 29.97 frames per second. That's what we want. And notice here, you can actually, you can actually shrink this video down if you like, okay? So you can bring it down a little bit, bring it up a little bit, but I'm not going to touch it. Leave it at 1280. That's the, you can click match source if you want. That numbers are going to change, but we're not going to touch it. Alright, here is basically we're going to export. Now here it allows you to export only so much. So right here, this workspace here is what you really got to focus on. Okay, but we're going to go right to the very beginning. Make sure there's no need to touch this part. Okay, now before I do any of this, I should have mentioned this one thing. Workspace is critically important, and so you got to make sure, and I'm going to go ahead and cancel and show this to you. So you see this gray bar right here? Okay, so if I were to go to the there it is right there. You see that? You got to make sure that this blue is at the very end right there, because that is the workspace. If I was to bring this in, that's right there, okay, where the playhead is. That's the end of the video right there. So in other words, I'm not going to see any of these. If this is called the workspace or the work bar, let's see, it's called, yeah, work bar area. See the work, sorry, it's called the work bar area. Okay, so you want this to go all the way to the very end. Oops, if I can grab it. Having a hard time grabbing it. There we go. Okay, so you got to be very careful about that. Okay, so and make sure that the playhead, I like to have the playhead all the way at the very beginning, but notice how this work bar here, and I don't see a beginning part of it, but it's there. Just can't seem to find it, but let's see, maybe it's not there. Okay, actually it is. It's there. It is. See how I'm dragging it in? So you want to make sure that everything starts from the beginning at 0 seconds to wherever it ends. Okay, so I'm going to drag this out. So make sure that this blue here matches the very end. Okay, so now I get to start all over again. Playhead is at 0. I'm going to go File, Export, Media. Okay, as I said before, format H.264. Remember, we changed this to high definition 720, not Facebook, high def 720. Okay, there it is. Notice 720 there. Okay, then we decided that this is the output name, is we're going to keep that output name, but when we click on it, we got to make sure that it's going to a folder where we can find it. And so in our case, I put in class, I put in advanced graphics, lesson 1A, good enough right there. Press save. Okay, we're going to export both audio and video. There's our size, 1280 by 720, 1280 by 720. Okay, this part is good to go. We are going to export. And that's what you do. You wait for the progress bar. Now, this is not, when this blue reaches here, that's not it. Okay, that it's just encoding, as you can see. So we'll take another 20 seconds to kind of encode, and then what it's going to do is going to start to render. Render meaning it's going to producing the final product. And once that render is done, at that point you can actually upload. So here we are right now, we're at the end. Okay, coming out, so almost there. And now it'll begin to render. Well, actually, looks like it maybe it didn't render because it was a small video. Alright, cool. Well, good for us. So, okay, so here's the thing. Where is it now? Remember, we put it inside the L1 folder, so I believe I had an alias here. I thought I did. Alright, well, never mind. I guess I'll have to find it the long way. I thought I had an alias here, but I guess web alias. Alright, well, no problem. Alright, so H classes, and then we'll go to advanced class. Go to lesson 1A. Alright, so looking for it, there it is right there. There's my sequence right there. So if I play it, alright, so I can hear the music. And so here's what I'd like for you to do. Okay, so with this in mind, okay, let's keep this down. Let's go ahead and minimize our Premiere. And then with this guy here, and I'm going to add, obviously I'm going to add the videos shortly. So you press this Google Forms icon right here, and here it is right here. So first thing you're going to put in is period. Could be either period 4 or 5, whichever. And then I'm going to add the MP4. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and look for it. And of course it's not there, so I'm going to have to, well, I don't normally, here, let's just go ahead and do this. Documents, again, so I got to go all the way across again. Kind of annoying, got to be a better way. But anyways, here is the MP4. I'm going to upload this. Okay, add more files, and I'm going to upload the screen capture that I did, which is typically located in the desktop, but See, there it is right there. So I want to do that. Okay, so if you're using a Mac, when you do a screen capture, it's probably on the desktop, so it's not on the folder where the MP4 is exported. And as far as the Windows users, you can actually file save as. When you click snippet tool, you can save it at a specific folder. So I'm going to press open. Okay, now I've got two files here, and I'm just going to go ahead and click upload. And okay, so eventually it's going to upload. I'm not going to keep it here. So I'm going to give you obviously most of the period today. I'll be back online with you guys, and you just make sure that it's with me tomorrow. Do I see you guys tomorrow? Well, anyways, when I do see you, and I think I see you on Tuesday, so it'll be due on Thursday for period 5. For period 2, you'll be seeing this tomorrow. It'll be due on Wednesday when I see you. Well, actually, I'm sorry, Wednesday we have off. So it'll be due Thursday as well. So, all right. So pretty much we're at the end. Okay, you can pretty much, let's see what happens when we go towards the end. Okay, there we go. And so then you press submit. Okay, always press submit, and then eventually I'll get signal that it's ready, and I'll show you what the end result is. Okay, so basically what happens is when I look at Google Drive, I see sequence 1, and it has your name on it, has my name, and then here is the screenshot. Both of these should be there, and please remember that this is going to be, actually I'd like for this to be a 60 pointer. Okay, 60 point grade. That would mean it would be, I'm going to give you 20 points for the screenshot. Okay, and then upload 1 screenshots, screen capture rather, for about 20 points. Okay, and then of course the MP4, okay, for 40 points. Okay, and I'll upload also a rubric to share what exactly I'll be looking for. Okay, and I'll upload the rubrics as well here. So hopefully if there's any other questions, I can answer them for you. And I'm going to go ahead and assign this. Okay, have a good day. We'll see you later.